Hello, and welcome to Minerals, Rocks, and Fossil Talks. I am your paleontology teacher, Jen, and it's time for some Monday musings. There is nothing more frustrating to me than all the misinformation about how evolution works, and the whole T-Rex evolving into a chicken, that whole thing, is one of the worst offenders. Ugh, it's so annoying. And honestly, it's one of the few times where paleontologists and young Earth creationists can agree. Because Tyrannosaurus rex did not evolve into a chicken. Tyrannosaurus doesn't have any descendants alive today. When that asteroid hit, Tyrannosaurs went extinct. And that is it. That is the end. There's none of this freaky stuff. So, first off, with it being wrong, that's just not how evolution works. You don't go from, you don't jump groups like that. There is a progression that is followed. So, birds as a whole, apes, they're a totally different branch of the dinosaur family from Tyrannosaurs. This representation above me is much more accurate. So, sometime in the Jurassic period, assumed, we don't actually know for sure. We haven't found this. It's simply a hypothesis because there had to have been a common ancestor at some point. Incidentally, hypothesis is another seriously misunderstood word, as is theory, but that's for a whole other day. So, the ancestor of both tyrannosaurs and apes existed sometime probably in the early Jurassic. Something caused these two groups to diverge from this ancestor. And there are a couple of things that it could be, most likely. It was probably due to a geographical separation. After all, the early Jurassic was the real start. It started in the Triassic, but it was in earnest. Pangea started to split in the early Jurassic, which means if you're getting separated from the whole, you're going to develop differently. So a geographical separation would make sense. But it's not the only explanation that could be used. These are side blotch lizards. They're technically not completely separated at this point yet, but it doesn't mean it couldn't happen because, notice, these are all males. We have an orange male, a blue male, and a yellow male, and there are preferences. There's a rock, paper, scissors thing going on here, and some colors are preferred to others. So, there could come a point where these colors could completely separate them because finally females are like, you know what? I only like the orange, or I only like the blue. I'm not going for anything else. And that will cause reproductive separation. And that could have happened with the common ancestors of apes and tyrannosaurs. Maybe that tyrannosaur branch liked duller colors and the apes like the brighter colors. I only say that because we have so many brightly colored apes at this point. Not that they're all that way. There's a lot of dull ones too, but you get the point. Color could have a lot to do with it. There could have been a group that said, oh, you like that type of food? Well, I don't like that type of food, so I just can't possibly mate with you. That's just not gonna happen. Kind of like if you decide you just can't date somebody who eats sushi. We have our preferences, and it could cause an evolutionary split. Whatever the reasons, regardless of what they were, because we're probably never going to know, because we can't, behaviors don't really fossilize, so it's not like we're ever going to find a, written piece saying, we chose this group, and that's why we did this, never going to happen. Regardless of why they split, they did split, and one went on to be some of the biggest land carnivores that have ever existed. And the other group got small and learned how to fly. So, whatever happened, they are two very separate things. They did not evolve from each other. They are branches on a tree that just went different routes. So, the next time somebody tries to tell you that Tyrannosaurus evolved into a chicken, just... I mean, I can't condone violence, but seriously, slap him. My goodness. That's so wrong on so many levels. But just let them know they're wrong and explain why. Show them this video. I don't know. Anyway, they're cousins. They're not direct descendants or anything like that. Tune in tomorrow for some more Tyrannosaur trivia, and I'll fossilizate you later.